On the day of the hike, my husband and daughter left me behind halfway up the mountain. Sudden rain poured down, the terrain was steep, and when my trekking pole broke, I fell off a cliff. While lying unconscious in the hospital, I overheard my husband and daughter's conversation. If Mom really becomes a vegetative state, Aunt Courtney will be saved. We can give Mom's kidney to Aunt Courtney. Dad, then you can finally be with Aunt Courtney. My husband's laughter was filled with anticipation. Yes, finally. I silently shed tears with my eyes closed, continuing to pretend I was unconscious. Very soon, they were eager to make the decision on my behalf, agreeing to donate my kidney. The moment anesthetic was injected into my body, just as Courtney was being wheeled into the operating room, I opened my eyes and said, "Sorry, I don't agree." After being wheeled out of the operating room, the doctor immediately marveled to Simon, "It's a miracle. Your wife actually woke up." I squinted slightly and saw the stiff, pale expression on Simon's face. I asked softly, "Honey, aren't you happy that I woke up?" He shook his head hastily. "No, of course not." He leaned over to stroke my cheek. "Honey, I'm really glad you woke up." But my daughter's face showed more disappointment. She hid behind Simon and mumbled, "Mom, why did you wake up?" "Dad, if she's awake, what happens to Aunt Courtney?" I turned my head to look at her. "Who is Aunt Courtney?" Simon immediately interrupted. "No, Vivian didn't say anything. She's just too happy you woke up." Vivian quickly plastered on a smile. "Yes, Mom, it's great that you woke up. I thought I was going to lose you." Even though I knew they were both pretending, my heart still ached unbearably. Over the years, I had poured my heart and soul into them, yet I hadn't expected them to resent me so much. In the following days, as I recovered, I overheard bits of their conversations in the hospital room. The doctor came to confirm the decision on the kidney donation. "Mr. Webster, given your wife's current condition, we can't guarantee she'll survive the operation. Are you sure you want to proceed with Miss Simpson's surgery?" Simon's voice was resolute. "Yes." Under the blanket, my hands clenched tighter, my nails digging deep into my palms as I struggled to control my emotions. Suddenly the nurse shouted, "Dr. Liaud, something's wrong. Her heart rate is skyrocketing and her blood pressure is spiking." The doctor and nurses rushed over to check on me. After a round of observations, my emotions gradually stabilized, and my blood pressure and heart rate returned to normal. Dr. Liaud again asked for confirmation from Simon. "Mr. Webster, your wife's condition is extremely unstable, as you just witnessed. Are you sure you still want to proceed with the surgery?" The quiet hospital room was filled only with the beeping of medical equipment. As the doctor waited for his reply, I also held my breath, hoping for a different answer. Maybe. Just as Simon began to speak, a woman's voice suddenly came from the doorway. "Simon. Courtney, why are you here?" Simon's tone was full of nervousness. Courtney spoke in a weak voice. "I was worried about you staying at the hospital alone with Adriana. I was afraid you'd be too exhausted. Let me take care of her instead." Cough, cough. Before finishing her sentence, Courtney began coughing uncontrollably. Anxiously, Simon patted her back and comforted her. "Courtney, are you okay? How did you end up coughing blood?" "No, your illness can't be delayed any longer," he firmly told Dr. Liaud. "I agree to the surgery. It must be arranged as soon as possible." My clenched hands tightened and loosened repeatedly, my heart feeling like it was filled to the brim with tears. I had been married to Simon Webster for so many years, and yet, it had all come to this. After coming out of the operating room, I asked Simon, "The doctor just told me they want me to donate a kidney?" Simon nodded absent-mindedly, then quickly changed the topic. "Adriana, are you hungry? I'll go get you something to eat." With that, he turned and grabbed our daughter to leave, but my daughter resisted. "Dad, why won't you tell Mom the truth? Dad, do you really want to watch Aunt Courtney suffer like this?" Simon held her hand and walked off. "Don't talk